What is going on? It is Jaden and our resident expert Caleb here with Fantasy Tomorrow, and we are here to talk Week 11 must-sits. We know sometimes it's really hard to set those players that we just know will not score this week because they're just such good players, but you got to make those choices. So Caleb, who are must-sits for Week 11?
So I think this week you need to sit Tom Brady. Now, that's crazy because Tom Brady was the number one scoring quarterback in Week 10. He had a really huge bounce-back game going up against the Panthers. But this week, he's not going up against the Panthers. He's facing the Rams. And the key to knowing whether you should start Tom Brady or not is based on whether the opposing defense can get pressure on him quickly. And when you're talking about the Rams, you're talking about Aaron Donald. And he's just such a game wrecker that I think that the Rams are going to be able to get pressure on Brady, and that means that Brady is going to struggle. So while I don't think that Brady's going to have as bad of a game as he did recently against the Saints, I don't think he's going to be a top 12 quarterback this week, which means that you should be starting somebody else in your lineup at quarterback. In that same game, I don't think that you should start any Rams running back this week, and that's mostly just because this this backfield is a three-headed monster, and you just do not know who's going to get the majority of the carries. You don't know who's going to get into the end zone. You don't know who's going to get the majority of the passing game. It's just totally up for grabs, and so you just can't feel solid starting any of those players for the Rams, so just sit them all this week. And the same goes for the Ravens running back room as well. That backfield is just super messy too. It's a timeshare that's just super unpredictable, especially now that Mark Ingram has returned from his injury. So I would just stay away from them as well. Now, back to the Rams. I also don't think that you should start any of their wide receivers going up against the Buccaneers, and that's because this is an unpredictable position group, and they spread the ball around so much. They like using their running backs in the passing game, even though you don't know which one's going to get the ball. And those wide receivers have just not been producing consistent numbers. Whether it's Cooper Kupp or Robert Woods, just don't start them, especially going up against Tampa Bay, whose secondary is really good and should be able to limit the Rams' offense this week. I also don't think you should start Jonnu Smith. He needs to be sat on your team, and he's going up against the Ravens defense. The Ravens have a really good defense. I think that the Titans offense is going to struggle in this game, and the thing that the Ravens do really well is they get pressure, they send blitzes, and I think that Tennessee is going to see that on film in preparation for this game, and that means that Jonnu Smith is going to be kind of left back on the line to pick up those blitzes and to block, which means he's not running routes, which means he's not catching passes, which means he's not scoring fantasy points. Now, that's a trend that's been happening for a while now. The Titans love leaving Smith in to block, so he's just not running enough routes to produce solid fantasy numbers. So don't be fooled by that rushing touchdown he had this past Thursday night against the Colts. It's just not something that can be repeated again against the Ravens, so just sit Smith this week.
Okay, guys, those are your must-sits. Go out. Don't play those people. Just don't do it, okay? We're going to say see you later to Caleb, and I'm going to remind you to please like, comment, and subscribe this video. And I'm just going to go on ahead and let you know that my name's Jaden. This is Fantasy Tomorrow. We're giving you the information to learn today and win tomorrow. See you guys for Week 12.